Waiting on Moscona. Scone. Matthew. Scone. That was some bullshit on Devin White. Chill out, Samantha. Chill out. Where's Scone? No appeal process. Still waiting on Scone. Did Matt fall asleep? Staples Center. I don't think they can appeal it. Ready?
Yeah, man.
Oh, man, that was some crap.
Oh, boy. You ready for the next 2 weeks of listening to damn gumps, bruh? The fucking fish will fuck this man. Nick Saban's in the all-targeted booth. Great. Listen to that shit for 2 weeks. Hang on 1 second.
Let's run it out. Make sure and like and share us. Hit up the register real quick. Coming up at the register, Zombie Pub Crawl next Friday night downtown on 3rd Street. They'll have live music. Jam Cracker will be there. And then on Saturday night, man, they're getting all freaky and weird and Halloween stuff. Halloween costume contest. Antiques will be playing. Make sure and give us a like and share as well. All right, the story is the win, but Devin White.
No, it ain't. Story. Hey, bro. I'm going to pour. Hey, bro, check out this glass before I get all pissed off because everybody's just going to yell at Nick Saban and Bama for the next hour and a half. Check out this glass, dog. Oh, my grandpa. I basically rated his bar. Actually, he had a whole bunch of stuff. He gave me check. It's like 1958 National Championship logo. You see that?
I want a little bit of delay. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah. Why are we delayed?
Well, I'm watching you through a computer because I got my flip.
Can you hear me fine?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you fine. Because I'm listening.
Oh, okay, good. So the audio is not delayed. Anyway, I'm going to go Whistle Pig 12 here today. Gorgeous beverage here. This Whistle Pig 12, it is that is choice right there. Anybody wants a good rye? Get you some Old World Cast Finish, Whistle Pig 12. Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
All right.
Can that be a?
All right. Let the bitching commence.
Can the Devin White thing? Can it be appealed?
Okay, so I didn't even watch the last 5 minutes of the game because as soon as that happened, I just got online and just started researching conference offices overturning targeting calls. And there is precedent for it. I found one in Conference USA. In 2016, there was a targeting call against an Old Dominion player during the game, and he was ejected in a game against NC State. They overturned it. The league office overturned it, and he was allowed to play in the first half of the next game.
So this is going to be a league ruling?
Well, it's already been ruled, but my assumption is here, like, coaches can turn in, and this is just every week it's common practice. Coaches will review a game film, and they will submit to the league office for review and sometimes explanation any calls that they didn't agree with or wanted an explanation on. So if there was a call they thought was a bad call, they'd submit it and say, here's what we thought would happen here so we understand the ruling, or whatever the case may be. In this case, there's no question that LSU is going to submit that targeting call and ask for clarification. And my assumption is that just like it was with Conference USA, it's going to be within the league's jurisdiction to say, yes, that was, or no, that was not targeting. What's concerning about that call in particular is when they went to review, they didn't just uphold it, they confirmed the targeting call. So they saw clearly targeting on review. Maybe there's something with the rule that I don't know or get or whatever. I know it's forcible contact to the head or neck area. I know we're conditioned to think it's got to be like you're launched, or if it's the top of your helmet or something like that, which is not the case. It's termed forcible contact to the head or neck area. So even a shove, theoretically, if they thought that shove was high, they could determine that was targeting. So that's my guess as to what they saw. I'm with you, dude. Like it's a push. I mean, that's a common garden variety play that we see defensive players make on quarterbacks all the time. My hope is on Monday the league office looks at that and goes, yeah, we're not going to make Devin White sit for the first half.
I thought originally, like in real time when I saw it, I thought that it might have gotten a flag because he left his feet. Like when he came at contact, he launched. And I kind of thought to myself, oh, shit, don't throw a flag. And then I saw the flag, and then I heard McElroy was like, oh, it's going to be targeting. And then when I saw the replay, I thought when it went to Birmingham, when it went to the officials, it would, they would see that there was no helmet contact. And man, I hate that the best player on the field is not going to play for the first 2 quarters of the game.
So again, it's worth mentioning again. I'm gonna go hit the share button too real quick. I'm gonna share it on Twitter too. I'll try to do this while I talk. I had our halftime. I was looking at our halftime link. I'm like, this doesn't look like this isn't what we're doing right now, because I had the wrong video because I'm stupid. Anyway, it doesn't have to be helmet to helmet. It's not launching or crown of the helmet. The verbiage is forcible contact to the head or neck area. So did they determine that the push was high enough that it was the neck area, and they threw the flag? God. That sucks, bro. I mean, hey, Jordy, there's no way around it. If you don't have Devin White in the first half, you're screwed.
Oh, yeah.
You're screwed.
Bro, I mean, it's the best player on the team. He's the best
well,
player.
Delta is playing like the best player right now, but yeah, I mean, against that,
we don't realize how much it's almost going to be this Kendall Beckwith effect. Remember when he got hurt against Florida? You were like, holy 100%. Shit! Like, look at the holes. They can't plug anything. They can't tackle anybody. They can't get anybody to the ground. I mean, just the little stuff that Devin White does that you can't cover up. We talked about it with Caleb in the first game, how there's no way that one person can come in and execute to his level. You're going to have to find it on, by committee. That's out the window here. I mean, Patrick Queen, Micah Baskerville, Damone Clark, you could play them all at one time. 40 is the best player on the field, including Tua, on 2 weeks from Saturday. And he changes the whole game plan now. Like, Dave Aranda's game plan is I mean, like, up in the air. Like, you know, like, we're starting from scratch.
Yep.
Because the whole thing is built around him. He makes the calls. He lines people up. He sees things as soon as they break the huddle. He calls the strong side. I mean, like, bro, shit. I mean, it's...
Dude, there's a comment right there. It says, like, it was bad at Florida when LSU didn't have Phillips.
Well, what about when he went off the field? When White went off the field in the first half, they scored.
Yeah. The one drive where they gave him a blow.
Exactly.
I mean, you know what, man? I know, look, all these people are just joining and asking, can it be appealed? I know everybody's going to ask that. So I'm probably going to end up repeating myself. But the short answer is there is precedent for a league office overturning a targeting call. Yes. There's, with 100% certainty, LSU will submit this for review. Will it get overturned? I don't know. So Micah just made a comment. It feels like we lost. It
does.
I mean,
it does.
But I'm trying to think of something. I'm trying to think of something comparable, Jordy, where you won a game, but something that, like, a player got injured or something happened in a game where you felt where that was
check this out. Scott Ravelay tweeted 19 minutes ago, LSU fans still booing lustily over the Devin White ejection. SEC's Herb Vincent said there is no possibility of an appeal. So that he will miss the first half against Alabama.
Wow.
It's done. It's a done deal. It's over. Bro, the best player on the field is missing 2 quarters of action against Alabama. Tua has thrown 25 touchdowns in 7 football games, and he hadn't played a fourth quarter yet. I mean,
jeez.
Bro. Patrick Queen. Micah Baskerville. These cats are going to be good. Gonna be good at some point. Devin White is the best linebacker in the country. And he's out of the game for 2 quarters on a letter of the law. I guess it was a targeting call, but I mean, you know, I'm an official at such a lower level. At some point, your common sense has to come in to the overall effect of the game. And that's a much higher level, and those guys are graded, and those guys are paid on their grade, and they're placed in games, and they're make sure, and maybe Monday morning, if he doesn't throw the flag on that, he's reprimanded in some type of way. But, I mean, the cause and effect of this, I mean, you know, I guess it would just be that I just disagree with the penalty. I mean, wholeheartedly disagree that if you suffer a foul in one game, you should be penalized in that game. I mean, you can't take a kid like Devin White off the field against Alabama because of what he did 2 weeks before, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, look, dude, this is going to be a conversation for 2 weeks, man. And look, therein lies, quite honestly, the rub with the rule. And I thought Dave Pash, I don't know if it was Dave Pash or if it was McElroy saying it. I think it was Pash on the broadcast. He's right. He's like, I understand safety and you know, my whole since they instituted the targeting rule in 2013, this has been my line. I understand the spirit of the rule. You're trying to make the game safer for the person delivering the hit and receiving the hit, and that is fantastic. But there needs to be a level of common sense therein, and this does feel like it crosses it. A lot of people are saying, just say it wasn't targeting. I think that, and Jordy, look, you call high school football. I did for a lot of years. You understand that there's a big difference between high school, college, and professional rules. And sometimes it's very common that we get rules crossways, right? Like, you're used to seeing something called a certain way on Sunday, so you go to a game on Friday night. Like, I'll give you an example. All right, in high school, there was no such thing as, like, outside the tackle box for intentional grounding. You know, like in the NFL, if you get outside the tackle box and you throw it past the line of scrimmage, it's incomplete regardless if there's a receiver there. In high school, there's no such thing. It doesn't matter. You have to be throwing at a receiver regardless of where you are. So that's a difference in rules. So I think people are saying it wasn't targeting because he didn't hit him with the crown of his helmet or he didn't lower his head. Like, the way that the college rule is explained is that it's forcible contact to the head or neck area. It's not necessarily just lowering or launching. It's just forcible contact. Technically, if you threw, if you're going by and you hit a quarterback with your hand or your elbow on the head, or the neck, that's targeting. So that's what they saw. I think it's bullshit. I'm with you, completely. To take Devin White off the field for the first half against Alabama because of that, a push with 5 minutes to go in a blowout against Mississippi State it makes you nauseous, man. It does. But just to the people asking the question, was it really targeting? Based on the college rule, probably they wouldn't. The problem, Jordy, is they called him on the field and confirmed it. There's another one. He did it from David. He didn't hit him in the head. David, listen. In the college rule, it's head or neck area is how it's defined. You don't have to hit him in the head. That's in the NFL, if you're just running by and you tap someone on the helmet, it's 15 yards. It's different in college. So I understand the frustration, man. It sucks. It's awful. It's bullshit. And hopefully this is the impetus to change the rule. But, Scott, I just read the tweet you talked about from Scott Rabelais where he talked to Herb Vincent with the SEC office and said there's no review. It's uphill. There is no review. So, there's no review. Devin White's going to miss the first half of the game.
That is brutal. That is brutal. God, man.
Samantha says you sound like an attorney. Samantha, I'm not trying to, I'm not justifying it. I'm just trying to explain why it was called the way it was. You can be pissy about it. You can be a pissed off fan, and that's your right. If you want to be a pissed off fan tonight, go ahead. But if you want an explanation as to why it was called the way it was and what the process is, I'm just trying to provide that. All right, I'm not saying I like it. I've said 10 times, I think it's bullshit. The fact that the best player on the field is not going to play for a half because he pushed a kid in the fourth quarter. But if you want an explanation, I'll give it to you.
What else did
you want?
4 takeaways for the defense. Nick Fitzgerald's going to wake up really sore tomorrow, maybe without his starting quarterback job.
Bro, I cannot believe they didn't run the kid from New Orleans out there. What are you at some point? Don't you owe to the rest of the team?
Want?
Dude, at some point, don't you have to run Keaton Thompson out there? Don't you owe it to the rest of the team just to see if the other guy can complete a pass? Fitzgerald had 4. Fitzgerald had 4 interceptions. He had 8 completions. I think he was 8 of 24 for 59 yards with 4 picks.
Dude, has he always been that bad?
Dude, listen. All right, this is the benefit of a coach, right? 2 years ago, Nick Fitzgerald threw for 2,400 yards with Dan Mullen calling plays for him. Dude threw for 2,400 yards as a sophomore 2 years ago. The guy calling the plays matters, man.
Obviously. How do you miss that guy on the battle interception?
Oh, dude.
That's like JV football type throw. You're rolling to your strong side. The guy's running a step behind the defender. Just lay it out there.
Man. What about, all right, if you actually want to talk about the game itself, so LSU goes into half up 10-3. We talked about it, right? You're up 10-3, it's still a 1-score game, get points, you make it a 2-score game, and now all of a sudden they're getting out of their game because they're down 2 scores. They got to make something happen, and you saw it, man. LSU gets the field goal on the next drive. That's when Moorhead went for it on 4th down twice.
Yeah.
You got up 2 scores, and he felt like shit. We've got to make something happen now on this day when opportunities are tough to come by. So, but that was a big point. The other, how about? Oh, it was on that drive, dude. That's when they took the shot down the right sideline. And the guy had Battle beat. and Fitzgerald just threw a laser and overthrew it.
Yeah.
You remember that play?
Yes.
I mean, that's what led to the 4th and 1 that they converted. But it's like if you just lay it out there for him, it's 13-10. You know, so I mean, that was a game where LSU was like a boxer, where they just that was a Mayweather fight, dude. That was a Floyd Mayweather fight, where just timing, just defense, just dodging punches and countering. That's all LSU did the whole time. Like they just never went on the full on attack, but they didn't need to tonight. They knew they could just keep kicking field goals and play defense, and they were going to win the game on a sloppy night. And there's some people that are pissed off. They're like, touchdowns or field goals won't win against Bama. And you know what? You're probably right. But it did tonight, and it's what you needed on a sloppy track. What you couldn't do is that Burrow, who was not on tonight, at least in the first half, you couldn't have him throw another pick in the end zone. Yeah. You couldn't have him kill another drive like that. You couldn't have him throw a bad pass, get it deflected, have a pick six, and then all of a sudden you're in a dogfight in a 3-point game. Yeah. So I know the frustration of fans that want to see more. But I thought they did what they had to do to win tonight, man. It was a different type of game, especially the weather, the way it played out, man. It was a different type of circumstance tonight, it felt like.
Yeah, look, Burrow's inaccuracy stood out in the first half. I think the wet ball and the weather had something to do with it, but he looked like he was just off. After watching him for 6 weeks straight, I mean, it looked like he was just kind of a half step off tonight. A touchdown, the interception in the end zone. Just missing open guys. I mean, he just had opportunities to make some.
Yeah, right.
I thought he missed some. And look, I think that you got to credit that Mississippi State defense. They came in as the #1 scoring defense in the country. Tops in the SEC in all categories, and I mean that's some grown ass men. I mean that's some pros, man.
You know what surprised me? The fact that LSU ended up rushing for 110 yards in the game. They only ran LSU, they only ran it for 2.5 yards a carry. But Brissett 17 for 57, Clyde 16 for 46. Like it was tough sledding, but in the second half, they made a little actually moved the football, were able to move the chains a little bit running the football. And I thought the opposite would happen. Like late in the game, LSU would tire out, and State would start getting gash plays in the running game.
Well, I thought Hill being injured because you and I were speculating at that time like where he was, and then in the third quarter he comes out and busts one, and then sprints off with the hamstring. I thought that probably affected their second half game plan more than we probably realize. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, but it was just clear.
Yeah.
Joe Moorhead does not trust Nick Fitzgerald to throw the football. And they tried. They came out to shoot. They had his first pass attempt of the game. Or second. The first was the second play when they threw the screen. But they had the 3rd and 11. He threw the pick. I mean, right into Divinity's gut. He was so far behind his receiver. Went right into Divinity's gut. At that point, I mean, you're down 7-0 because LSU gets a 1st and goal at the 2. And hell, they almost held LSU out. But, the game changed at that point where, man, it's 7-0. Then they get the ball inside with the 2, and LSU holds them to a field goal on 3 plays on goal to go situation. It's 7-3, and at that point, it was just they never got closer. That was State's second possession. They kicked the field goal. They never got close again.
When they came out and got that field goal and started the third quarter, I mean, that felt like that was like a 3-score lead.
Yeah, it did. I mean.
And that was going off the vibes of the Mississippi State bench more than anything.
No, I mean, dude, I'm looking. It was just the odd thing about this game. We'll come to some of y'all's comments in a bit. If y'all hit the share, we appreciate it as always, man. The odd thing about this game is, like, Jim Hawthorne would have loved this game. It was like a 3-hour game. There was so much running and just get it over with. The game was so fast-paced, and then what happened with Devin White's ejection just sort of, like, muted everything else that happened before because you were just playing out the string in a blowout, trying to get to the locker room so you could start focusing on Bama in 2 weeks. And then the White play happens, and it just kind of threw everything for a loop. I mean, dude, we could talk about stuff. we could talk about how about Grant Delpit with his sack. I mean, not only 2 picks, but the sack he got.
That Matthew-style sack where he gets knocked down, gets up, makes the play.
That's the second time he's done it this year, man. Where he's overrun a play, got off his butt, got up, and still made the sack on the backside. He's special, man. He's so fun to watch.
He is.
You know,
I think Kerry Vincent continues to improve in the defensive backfield. I thought he made a couple of plays tonight.
Dude, you know who's vanished? Because of Vincent's emerging, who's vanished is Terrence Alexander.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time we saw Terrence Alexander?
I saw him with the punt team last week. That was the first time I had seen him in weeks.
There you go. So I mean, look, if you give me the option, like, would I rather have the grad transfer stepping up and making plays, or the true sophomore who's going to be around for 2 more seasons after this? Yeah, for sure, man. It goes to show you sometimes grad transfers are hit and miss. Like Cole Tracy, obviously, superstar, you know, huge part of this team. Burrow has changed the complexion of this whole season having him. But the flip side of it is, you know, Terrence Alexander has been basically just a body. And look, it helps that they got Fulton back, obviously. That changed the whole numbers and complexity of the secondary as well with Fulton back. So, yeah, man, you know, we can get some of these comments and stuff, but I'm looking.
A lot about Devin White.
Dude.
You know, I mean, a lot of it's going to be about Devin White. And, you know, and you and I's industry, I mean, over the next week and a half, I mean, we're going to talk a lot about it because that's so big. That's such a enormous storyline going into this game. I mean, in fact, if you go back and watch the TV copy, Ogeron asks the White Hat, "Can I appeal this?" And the guy says, I don't know what he tells him, and he pops right back and he says like something like, "Oh hell yeah, it could keep him out of the Alabama game." You know what I mean? Like he's thinking about it real time in the moment. Like we got to fix this. This is too big. And the effect that this is going to have on Dave Aranda's game plan, I don't know, man. I mean, after watching Alabama play again today, and still, you know, very underwhelming in the opponent.
Yeah,
it's still the level of execution and the depth in key spots like defensive line. And, you know, their quarterback, I mean, you know, it's all about the quarterback. I mean, really, it makes them different. But to be without Devin White for 2 quarters is, you know, I mean, stating the obvious, it's just an enormous disadvantage. I mean, just good.
Purdue, bro. Purdue's about to take down Ohio State, dog.
Yeah.
This scored again, 28-6. So, bro, you want to talk? This changes the complexity of the playoff race, and I mean, what this does is, and I mean, I hate to think of it this way, but if you're LSU and you lose to Bama, but then win out after that, like, you're going to have a chance, even if you don't play, because the Pac-12 is done.
Yeah.
I think the Big 12 is done, regardless of who comes out of that, because the league is so weak.
Yeah.
You're not going to have an undefeated Big 10 champion. Whoever is the SEC champion is in. Like, if you're an LSU fan right now, you need to be pulling like hell for Clemson and Notre Dame to lose. Because if everybody has a loss and that muddies the water, I'll put LSU's schedule up next to anybody in the country.
Anybody.
And
LSU has the momentum of the national media backing them on that since week 3. Like everybody in the country has all said, look, hey, man, LSU may not be for real yet, but they've proven everything that they've been tested on, they've passed. And look, this is going to set up a top 4 matchup in Tiger Stadium in 2 weeks. I mean, you know, with Ohio State shaking up. And Scone, like going into this game, we were talking about it, you know, kind of all leading up. This and the Texas A&M game, in my opinion, remain the most important games on the schedule because they were the games that had to get you to 10. You know, you get there tonight, you get there against A&M. Well, you know, let's say you're going to be a huge underdog against Alabama. You don't win there. You win those 2 games, you still get to 10 games. And like you're saying, you could be in the playoff picture or at the worst, you're what, in the Sugar Bowl?
Dude, yeah. And look, and remember, even Ole Miss in 14 and 15 went 9-3 both those years and ended up in the peach and sugar. So I think LSU, even at 9-3, because of their schedule, is going to be in one of those New Year's Six games.
Yeah.
Either the peach, the sugar, or the fiesta. But like at this point, you can legitimately look at this and as a like if you're pulling for Clemson, Notre Dame to lose, and nobody is undefeated except if Bama wins out. Like even if LSU loses to Bama but wins the rest of their games, a 10-2 LSU that would have beaten Miami, Auburn, Georgia, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, like 5 ranked wins, that's going to be up there against literally anybody else's in the country.
And kick its ass.
Yeah.
Like win out every time.
Yeah. Dude, I know everybody's still, I'm looking at the comments right now. Everybody's talking about,
Devin White.
Devin White.
Oh,
hey, let me hit aesthetic medicine.
Yeah.
Blue Bonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador DeCaffrey in Lafayette. We appreciate y'all so much, man. It'd be a huge help for both aesthetic medicine and the Register Bar. If y'all could, they're both businesses are linked in this post. If you could click their link and like their page, that's a massive help if you would. At Aesthetic Medicine, this month they've got 10% off all products and services on Blue Bonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador DeCaffrey in Lafayette. Awesome people, hormone replacement therapy, laser hair removal, Vaser Lipo, VeloShape, UltraShape, amazing products and services. Y'all go check them out. Again, please like their page on this Facebook post. That'd be a huge help.
Hey, and remember, coming up at the Register Bar downtown on 3rd Street next Friday night, they got the Zombie Pub Crawl. They'll also have live music. They'll have Jam Cracker on stage that night. Saturday, embrace the weirdness of Halloween. They're going to have a costume contest, and the antiques are going to be the entertainment. And don't forget, if you're in traffic, if you're watching this, if you're at your house, like and share this post. Go ahead and jump aboard their Facebook page. Give them a like and follow on their social media. And remember, the success of Whiskey and Wine is because of you sharing and liking. Do us a solid and hit that share button.
Yeah,
if you don't mind. And we'll keep this thing rolling, man.
There's a comment from Robert Boudreau who said LSU was the first 2-loss BCS champ in 07. They beat Mississippi State 19-3. That's not true. They beat Mississippi State in the season opener like 45-3. That was the game when Craig Stelz had 3 interceptions. Yeah. It was on a Thursday night. It was most definitely not 19-3.
That's right.
But they were a 2-loss champion, and I think you just keep cheering for all the undefeated teams. Notre Dame was idle today. And Clemson blew out NC State. I think the only chance NC State – you know what, dude? Clemson plays Florida State next week in Tallahassee. And I don't know if Florida State beat Wake today. They started playing better. Yep. They were a breath away from beating Miami. You feel like Florida State's going to have their best shot, left. Just that one bullet in the gun that you're going to use. And it feels like if they could do it next week, they have a chance. But you definitely got to pull for them to lose. You got to pull for both Clemson and Notre Dame to lose at this point.
A tough spot, man, after watching Clemson today. I thought Trevor Lawrence looked like he had finally taken control of that spot. Just kind of, even though NC State was a little bit too cracked up, too hyped up, but that was a big spot for Clemson. Travis Etienne, what a miss, bro.
Dude.
What a miss.
That is 3 straight weeks he's rushed for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The kid is averaging 9 yards a carry.
That a Clemson
not today.
Record.
Not today. This year he's averaging 9 yards a carry. And we got people, bro. And we got people asking us if Chris Curry was going to be the guy this year.
Right.
Fuck out of here, man.
Maybe
he'll end up being good. Yeah, Come on, man. Maybe those guys will end. I don't mean maybe those guys will end up being good guys. But it speaks to why you need elite. Like Leonard Fournette didn't become a dude until halfway through his freshman season, and that's literally the greatest talent at running back LSU's ever had. You know, like, it takes time. Man, when you get a guy like a John Emery, you know, when one of those comes around, you got to get him. You know, you missed out on Travis Etienne from Jennings.
From Jennings.
Jennings.
LSU country. Like,
Jennings.
LSU country. Look at Mike Leach. And a boy,
oh, my
Mike.
God. What did he do?
Went for it on 4th and 7, up 7, with 4:43 left and converted.
Oh, damn. Hey, what's the score in that game?
27-20.
Bro, your boys got Wazoo minus the 3.
Me
when it was
too.
27-0.
Me too.
When it was 27-0, I was feeling golden, man. And then I looked up, it was 27-13. Like, what the hell, man?
Me too. I got to put minus the 3 too, and here we go.
I need to pull that shit up, man. Anyway.
Yeah, dude. You know what else stood out tonight was I think we talked a little bit about this with Burrow's inaccuracy. The first time I thought it's and McElroy said it too. You know, like he has such a larger effect on the game that you don't see in the stat line. Changing plays at the line of scrimmage, recognizing things, throwaways. But tonight, I thought his accuracy could have gotten him in a lot more trouble than it did. Only one turnover, and it was a bad one inside the end zone. But really, I mean, that was a good read by the quarterback who saw the back shoulder coming. And D. Anderson really, you know, he needed to turn into a defensive back at that point. Really. Touchdown, Wazoo.
Yeah, dog. You boys having a good night. Bro, I'm 3-0 today, man. I loaded up on Michigan today against Michigan State, at Auburn, at Wazoo, and I'm playing UCLA tonight. I laid the 10. I'm a little leery about that. Dude, your boy is 18-6-1 over the last 3 weeks.
Who's counting?
Me. It's your boys having a pretty good stretch right now, man. And the funny thing is, like, T-Bob during pregame will ask me every now and again, like, hey, man, what should I do? And I'll give him, like, the last 3 of mine he's taken have been losses. Oh, man.
Monday morning, he's always like, fucking Moscona, man. Told me to put everything on.
Well, I didn't say put everything. And by the way, I told both of y'all last week, I said, take Arkansas with the points. I said, I think they're going to win outright, but take the points. And y'all both played the money line. If you would have won with the points, you agreed. That's your problem. Both of you, it's your problem.
I don't know. Yeah. I got UCLA in the nightcap.
Yeah, I do too. We'll see. Dude, I like staying up and watching that stupid 10:30 shit, man. We finish this, I go sitting there, I pour me another whiskey, and I just sit there and I watch Pac-12 After Dark. It's weird, dude. It's like, you know, the rest of the country's asleep and nobody's watching that except the people in the stadium and me. And
you make it all 4 quarters?
No. Usually make it through. I'm usually make it through the third. Then I'm like, okay, because I know Drew's gonna wake me up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. So, I get up with him every day. He's my alarm clock. All right, let's get back to this. Let's see. 15.5 spread on Bama. You think that's about right?
Whew, that may not be enough. Hey, look, man, this Devin White story is going to affect the point spread a couple. Is going to move it a couple of points. Yeah,
I disagree.
Double digit.
I disagree.
Double digit. 12 to 15 for sure. Opening up.
In college football, it is rare that any one player will affect the point spread. If you have like a Johnny Manziel at Texas A&M, yes. Like if Dwayne Haskins got hurt for Ohio State, yes. Like a quarterback like that, but as great as Devin White is, I don't think it's going to affect the point spread. But like functionally, LSU's ability to operate that defense and try to slow Alabama's offense, yeah, man.
Fucking Alabama.
Dude,
Alabama's so good too, man. I hate to sweat them, but I watched them play. I watched them play today. Just kind of locked in on them. I mean, they're so deep on the defensive line. They've got playmakers on all that. Really, Scone, to me, the weak part of their team is Savion Smith and Patrick Surtain, the 2 starting cornerbacks that should be at LSU.
I know, bro.
Like
that's. You know what though, man? Seriously, like the one thing that has been true about Bama in the past that really isn't this year is their depth, especially in the secondary. At linebacker for sure.
But the defensive line, bro.
I don't know, man. I don't see the rotation like they have in the past, where they've rotated 9 or 10 guys across that front.
You know, it's not 2011.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
You know.
Or was it? What was the one that had the one? It was 2 years ago that Jonathan Allen and Tim Williams. Like they had like 11 guys.
Yeah, Tim Williams just played on third down.
Yeah. That was 2 years ago. So that's 16, 17. Well, what year was that?
I think it was 16.
16?
He played.
They lost to Clemson. Yeah.
Third down rush specialist, and he led the country in sacks.
Yeah, I know. It's stupid. Yeah, and all he did was go to UI.
Right.
Right on campus. Whatever. Well, they pulled his offer, didn't they? That was his thing.
Yeah. I mean, they right at the end, they almost like encouraged him to go out of state.
What, they didn't think they'd get him qualified, right? That was the thing with him?
Qualified, and I think he had some trouble.
Yeah. I thought I don't know, man. I thought it was an academic thing where they didn't think they'd get him qualified, so they pulled the offer. Anyway, well, let's get to y'all's comments here, man. We appreciate y'all staying up with us. Whiskey and Wine, brought to you by Register Bar and the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Someone saying 10-2, Dwayne from Thibodeau. Have you followed that at all? The guy who calls my show,
yeah.
Dwayne? Yeah. Bro, hey man, I tell you what, Jordy, if LSU ends up 10-2, they beat Bama. I mean, I'd gladly get that dude $500.
You'd have to, bro. You'd have to. I mean, like I'm the biggest old guy out there. I wouldn't have believed that. You know, I mean, Scone, I would say now that the money is in the favor of LSU getting to 10 wins.
For sure. Like they obviously won't be favored against Bama.
Right.
And do you think they'll be favored at A&M?
I mean, like if the game was this Saturday, maybe not, but like 4 weeks from now, maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe so, because I've always thought that it's been advantage LSU to catch A&M there at that part of the schedule because A&M just lacked a bunch of depth.
Yeah.
And they were always, to me, a poorly conditioned and kind of.
They were soft, bro.
Yeah, they're soft, absolutely.
They're soft.
And I think that Jimbo, like that was like the first words out of his mouth at his introductory press conference. Like we got to become a tougher team. This team's soft. And I think he's changed the narrative. He just like the personnel was not there yet. So it's definitely going to be a tougher game for LSU. But I still like LSU's matchup, just personnel. Like I think that they're better. They're just better players.
BG Lanois said 15.5 in Vegas right now. It's the line. I would absolutely take the points with LSU, even with Devin White out.
Really?
100%. Dude, all right, Jordy, think of it this way. 2008, LSU defensively was a sieve.
Yeah.
That game went to overtime.
2010,
they win in Baton Rouge. 12. People forget about this, man. The 12 was the Yeldon year. That Bama team, people talked about that 12 Bama team like they're talking about this Bama team.
Best of all time.
Invincible, the worst team in the NFL that year was the Chiefs. And Vegas put out like a faux line if Bama played the Chiefs. Like that's how overwhelming Bama was. And LSU had that team beat until the Yeldon played. 14 was the worst LSU team of the Miles era, where they lost 41-7 at Auburn.
Right. Got
dump trucked by Mississippi State on their home field. That team had Bama beat.
They were beat.
And ends up getting they get a personal foul call.
Vidal?
After was it Vidal or was it Beck? Yeah, Vidal. And then they end up kicking the field goal.
And they kick the ball
off, out of bounds,
oh.
Short field, overtime, and then Bama. That was the worst Miles team took Bama to overtime.
Blake Sims.
And then 16 They're 0-0 going into the fourth quarter. I will gladly take all 15 and a half of those MFing points right now because that ain't going to be – it's not going to be a blowout. Oh, look at Purdue. Purdue is running away from Ohio State.
I love it.
34-13.
I love it.
PAT pending. Hey, man, how about Braun, man? That's a team that started – Purdue started 0-3. And everybody shit on them, but they could have won any of those three games, like 3 just tough luck losses. And then they won their next 3. And look at them, bro. That's a good thing, bro. Braun is a good coach, man. They had some tough luck early in this season. They lost a close game at home to Missouri. That was a 1-possession game. They were embarrassed, Eastern Illinois, but they lost by a point. They lost to Northwestern on the opening weekend. Like that's a team that could be that very easily. Ball bounces left instead of right could be 6-0 instead of 3-3 going on 4-3.
Good opening for Breezy too. Tomorrow in Baltimore.
Yeah. Cold. I hope so, man. I hope so. Let's see. Coaching staff will have the team ready.
I agree with that. I wanted to get to that comment. It's going to another week. You have 5 penalties for this team after 2 last week against Georgia. From a scheme standpoint, Ensminger saw that. Look, he can't play with this team in between the tackles. He's got to get outside. I thought the tempo, maybe a little late getting there, but again, another week of impressive coaching. And look, let's not discount the difficulty of getting your team prepared to play after an emotional win in a time where on the schedule it's about time for that bye. Like this bye can't get here fast enough for LSU.
Absolutely.
Like get Fehoko ready, get all these guys that have been banged up, get them ready to go. So I thought again another great job by the coaching staff coaching up this team.
Man, I think Ed Ogeron has done a great job managing his team. I think he has assembled a staff that he has delegated to with their responsibilities. I think you and me and everyone would agree that LSU is the best defensive coordinator in football. Mm-hmm. They have managed a way to, even without Chasson, as much as we talked about how disappointing that was, to manufacture pressure in different ways. Grant Delpit stepped up incredibly. And I think if you give Dave Aranda 2 weeks to dissect film on Tua with the athletes that LSU has and a chance to get them healthy over the next 2 weeks, LSU will absolutely give Bama its biggest test.
Absolutely.
And the other side of it is the same thing we said last week about Georgia, we're going to say about Bama for the next 2 weeks. They have not been challenged a lick. Wait until they're in a one-score game in the second half for the first time. Wait until their nose gets bloody. How do they react? And LSU's going to do that. They do it every time they play in Baton Rouge. The games in Tuscaloosa haven't been as competitive. The games in Baton Rouge always are. And I think in part, I don't know if you agree with this, but I think in part that's Saban playing a little close to his vest, realizing he's probably got better athletes, better team.
Sure.
He doesn't have to be as aggressive.
Cream will rise to the top at the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it has every time since 2012. I think that's part of it too. It's Saban doesn't feel like he has to go out there and be super duper aggressive because he knows his defense is good enough to make sure LSU doesn't build a big lead. So it's not that dissimilar from how LSU played it tonight. LSU could have gone out tonight and been super aggressive, thrown the ball all around, and forced the issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe made mistakes, but those would have been mistakes that could have cost you the game tonight. Instead, they said, you know what, we're just better, and they can't move the ball on us, so let's just go play great defense for 60 minutes, not let them score, and just take what they give us and just get the hell out of here with a win. And I think that's Saban's approach too when he plays LSU.
Going to be a great environment either way.
Chewy said Bama has a much better quarterback than ever before. I don't know about Matt's logic there.
Wait, what?
Man, Chewy said Bama has a much better quarterback than ever before. I don't know about Matt's logic. That's true. Tua's the best quarterback he's had. I'm not disputing that at all.
Sure.
And he came up in a huge spot last year in the national championship game. That's also a neutral site. This will be the first time that he's going to have to make clutch plays. You know, on the road, a new road venue. It's just a different challenge, and it's just we haven't seen them have to do it yet. So let's see what it looks like when he has to.
It's the same thing that I say about U High every week. Like, it's the challenge of getting them all to focus in and like get worked up for the game. I mean, I can tell you in pregame whether or not they're going to be on or not. And from Alabama's standpoint, I'd imagine that's probably one of the biggest challenges for their staff is just keeping them engaged, keeping them interested in playing every week. And I believe that they're going to get that because they've heard that this is their biggest test. I'm sure, the alumni. We have Barrett Jones every Thursday, and he told us.
I know, you damn Bammer. What are you doing? What do you do? Put a Bammer on in Baton Rouge, huh? What do you hate LSU? That's a problem,
right? But look, but like for this, he tells about the experiences of playing in Tiger Stadium as not only an opponent but a hated opponent, and coming in with a Nick Saban-led team. So he offers great perspective, but he talks about how those guys, they love it, that it's their favorite road venue. It feels like kind of like kind of the part of the old Roman Coliseum type feel to it. So I mean, Alabama's going to be locked in and just go back to the fucking Devin White story. It just crushes you, man.
Shit, their favorite road venue. They never lost here.
Huh?
Said Shit, their favorite road venue. They never lost here. Yeah. Anyway, dude, somebody said y'all shut up and talk Purdue for a minute.
Talk what?
Talk Purdue for a minute. That's funny, dude. Let's reiterate this, man, because a lot of people are probably just jumping aboard with us and watching now, asking if there's an appeal process for the call. Ohio State score. I pointed out that there was precedent back in 2016. There was a Conference USA targeting call that was overturned later in the week by the office. But Scott Rabelais tweeted, he asked Herb Vincent of the SEC office, and Herb said, no, there's no appeal. Like, it's done. He'll sit out the first half. So that's it.
Oh, that is unbelievable,
man.
Say that out loud. Say that out loud. Like, I mean, Devin White is suspended for 2 quarters of the Alabama game for something that he did 30 minutes ago. I mean, God. That is brutal.
Here's the question from Haggai. Is Nick Brissett still a great, good running back?
Look, man, I think that they've gotten a lot of their running backs this year.
I think so, too.
I mean, the amount of production that they've gotten out of that spot, I think, has probably surprised them. I think that they thought that Lowell Narcisse was going to be their power back going into the season.
Yeah, they had package for him.
Huh? Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I don't think that Nick's great, but I think that Nick has filled a role great. He fills his role fantastic.
Dude, program player. Stayed around 4 years, waited his turn, got a chance to play. He's had a nice senior year. Good for him. No, I mean, I don't agree on Duke, man. Duke,
program guy.
Duke. Yeah, but Duke was look, man, he goes as a 3rd round draft pick in the NFL. Nick's not going to sniff the NFL.
No.
But Duke Riley was a special athlete. He was just undersized as an inside backer in a 4-3 and then a 3-4, who just kind of had to wait his turn to get on the field. And when he did, you saw the same with Deion Jones, but guys that undoubtedly got better as their careers went along. Nick's not going to sniff the NFL. And I wish him luck and whatever, but it's just, that's just the reality of it. But man, look, every program's got room for those guys, man. Guys that stick around, they wait their turn to play, and when they play, they bring leadership and stuff. I mean, Garrett Brumfield's another one, man. Brumfield's a guy that stuck around, could have transferred, gone somewhere else, waited his turn. He's got a chance to play the last 2 years. He's done well.
Are you hearing the same thing? No chance on him against Bama, huh? Still too aggressive?
I didn't hear that with Brumfield. I thought they were going to try to give him a go. Okay, so no?
I mean, I've heard that was a target date, but then last week they think that might be still too aggressive. I mean, here's the thought of it. If he's still not healthy today and you get him healthy that week, do you want to put him right back into action against that group? You know,
yes.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like,
if he can go,
you just pluck Hines out of there because I think Hines.
No, man. Hines got abused today.
Hell
bro.
yeah, he did, Matt. He was going against the top defensive tackle in the draft.
And what do you think is going to happen in 2 weeks against Alabama when you're staring at Roquan Davis, man?
Man.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just, but it's the kid's 18. Give me the guy that's 23, that's been in Moffitt's program for 5 years, that knows every single play, that's been through the battles. Like, give me that guy in this game. And if you can't do it, all right, then run the kid out there. But I'll take Garrett Brumfield, having not played in a month, over the 18-year-old kid who's going to be wide-eyed in that spot. Bro, you know the problem they got seriously right now? And I don't like calling people out, but, like, Austin Deculus is a problem right now. Like, he's not reading. Like, you can almost book it anytime you see Joe Burrow go down. Pressure coming from the right side of the offensive line.
I was getting text on whether or not you put McGee back out there. And, I mean, for the way that he was struggling, I thought that was a real option.
I'm surprised. Quite honestly, I'm surprised they haven't tried it.
Yeah.
McGee struggled at guard last week, which is why Hines went back in after the first series. McGee started. Hines went in the second series, never came out again, and started this week. I think it's clear McGee is not an inside player. He's more of an athletic guy that you might put on the outside, and that's Deculus' problem, bro. It's either he doesn't quite understand the calls, and I don't know because we're not in the I don't know what their calls are, but I mean I can watch a replay and see him kick out and double a tight end with double the end with the tight end, and then linebacker comes right through the gap between the guard and the tackle, and he just reaches a hand out. It's like, bro, that's your guy. Like you got an outside hand on the end just to keep a hand on the inside in case if someone comes through that gap. It's just, and he doesn't have the speed to recover. And bro, he's like that's gonna get exploited in 2 weeks in a big way.
Oh, I mean, your boy Montez. I mean, your boy Sweat was licking his chops.
Yeah.
I mean, like, watch on draft night how many highlights they show of Sweat from the 2018 LSU game.
Yeah. Bro, even the play, like the face mask against when he grabbed the face mask on Clyde, it looked like he had his jersey. I didn't see face mask. Did you?
Or it looked like he grabbed like the inner part of his shoulder pad, which.
Yeah.
Is it that? Would that be a horse collar, or do you have to grab it from the back?
See, I don't know. I was wondering the same exact thing, man. Because the way they explained it, like I thought horse collar was from behind.
Yeah.
And he definitely got it on it. Like I thought it was inside. Maybe he
touchdown Purdue, bro.
They got another one.
Yeah.
I'm looking at 3rd and 7 with 4:17 to go. I'm a little behind. Hey, is Wazoo over?
Yeah, it's done.
Done. Good.
Winner.
You boys having a good day, bro.
Winner.
Let's see. Someone just asked what time will the game be in 2 weeks. It's going to be 7 o'clock.
And ESPN just tweeted out the game day is coming. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a top 5 matchup.
Yeah.
Pros everywhere. And maybe the top pro on the field has to sit out for 2 quarters.
I know, right? Someone asked if Raekwon Davis was suspended. I heard he didn't play the first half of the game. I didn't have the audio on, but we had the game on. We had the game on in studio for pregame. I heard he sat out the first half today. He's a kid who threw the punches last week on the field. So
right through it.
Whatever that's worth. Yeah. Let's see. We'll pick off Tua twice.
What about Tua's stats?
Bro, the pass Tua threw to Jerry Jeudy in the first half.
The corner route?
Oh, my God, dude. Across the field, corner of the end zone from the other side of the field.
I mean.
He's special, bro. He is not. I mean, I'm stating the obvious, but yeah. Yeah, that was the one.
I can't wait to see what Aranda has cooked up for him because he's going to throw some shit at him that he hadn't seen.
Yeah.
I mean.
Give him 2 weeks, man. Doggone, dude. That's. But, dude, I still Jordy, I mean, as many times as we got 2 weeks to talk about Bama, I know it, but as many times as we've talked about this game in Baton Rouge, like as much of an advantage as LSU or Bama's had, they've been double-digit favorites and all this shit. It's always close, man. It's always close. It's always close. Always is.
It's just the emotion of it. I mean, it is as old school of just a college football slugfest, emotional. I mean, you and I've stood down there on the field for this game for all 4 quarters, and I'm telling you, Scone, and I believe it was the 2015. It was Leonard's sophomore year. It was 2015. I stood down on the field for every game, and that game just feels different. It sounds different. When the ball's coming at you, it's almost like a herd of cattle is running.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, like I'll always remember the image of who was their big tackle, Cyrus Quanjo.
Oh, yeah.
And Sam Montgomery before the first play of the 2012 game, like shaking hands and like saluting each other as to say, like before a big prize fight, like best of luck to you, bro. Let's go to war. I mean, it's just different. It's just different about this game, and the outcome for LSU has been depressing over the last 7 times. But like you said, it's been emotionally draining to go to these games, especially in Baton Rouge, where you think you got them on the ropes, you think you got them beat, they come back with the yelled and screamed, or Blake Sims drives in the length of the field and gets a 2-point conversion to push into overtime.
Dude.
All right, here you go. I got official statement from the SEC on Devin White's targeting call. This is from Ross Dellinger's Twitter account 4 minutes ago. By rule, no player shall target or make forcible contact to the head or neck area of a defenseless opponent. The quarterback on the play was defenseless at the time of the contact. By rule, all targeting calls are reviewed. The call was reviewed and confirmed.
Is it?
Is it? It's over. Done. Done deal.
Oh, hell.
A done deal. Devin White's out. Devin White's going to miss the first half of the Alabama game.
Bruh. Like, LSU fans over the next 2 weeks are going to have to go through, like, the 7 stages of grief.
Bro, as a sports radio host, I might have to as well.
I mean, you're going to go through, like, denial, anger, depression, like, all of it, you know?
I feel bad for Devin White, bro. Did you see the camera follow him into the locker room? And like that to me was Devin White. Like, kept it classily. Like as soon as the call was made, he sprinted towards the locker room, and as soon as he thought he was out of the public eye, took his helmet and threw it as hard as he could into the ground, thinking like, I've just let myself, my team, my city, my school, my locker room, like if you had to handpick one person on that team that you say, don't let this happen to this guy, 40 would be the one.
Bro.
Oh, bro.
If you try to look, but if you try to look, all right, just realistically.
Bro, you shouldn't have done it. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here.
Realistically, who's going to replace him?
They're not. I mean, like Patrick Queen, I guess, is going to start, or Baskerville is going to start. You slide.
Would you play Baskerville or Queen?
I'd slide Phillips into Devin White's role, let him make all the calls, let him call the strong side, and then I'd bring in probably Baskerville because it seems like he's the one that they trust the most. And probably Baskerville out of Queen, out of the two, moves the best. Like we talked about it after the Florida game, he was in the right positions, bro. He just wasn't making the plays like 6'1".
Yeah.
Like he was in the right spot. He just couldn't get him to the ground. I mean, when we went back and looked at the number, he had 9 tackles.
He looked at 13. He looked 13 tackles.
But he probably had 6 missed. Crucial.
Maybe, yeah.
Crucial. But you know who has to step up here? Six. Six has to step up. Like it's his time with something like this to take the weight of, like, now the thing's got to be built around you. You know, like now you have to line everybody up. You got to make sure that they're ready to go. Man, if they can get to the locker room 10-7, 10-3, something light, and get him back, what an emotional boost that will be for that stadium.
Dude, I'm just sitting here thinking about what you do, and I guess I think of it like this. All right, if when Chasson went out, they tried. They said, okay, let's see if Andre Anthony. Oh, pick.
Yeah, pick six. Pick six.
Oh.
Pick six, bro. Dancing in the streets in West Lafayette tonight.
Oh, man. Give him something to cheer for in the state of Indiana. Shithole. Yeah, so I didn't say that. No, good people there in the Hoosier State. Anyway, when Chasson went out, they tried Andre Anthony, they tried Ray Thornton, they tried Trevez Moore, and no one person was capable. So what they've done to generate pressure is Delpit, safety blitz, delayed blitz from the linebackers, Devin White. Like they've different stunts on the defensive line. Aranda's just gotten creative with ways to generate pressure.
Right.
So I just think this is where I'm glad you're paying Dave Aranda $2.5 million a year. Because you give him 2 weeks to figure out what to do to compensate for that for 30 minutes. And the flip side of it, Jordy, offensively, LSU better just be looking, man, let's run clock.
Absolutely, man. This is the game. This is the game where you almost have to flip the script from the mentality inside the locker room. Like, as the offense, you have to look at the defense and say, guys, we got you. Like, you're dealing with some shit. Like, let us take the pressure off of you. We're going to do our jobs tonight. Because let me tell you, LSU can throw the football on Alabama. Like, athletically on the outside, they're better than Alabama. And as much as we trust Dave Aranda, bro, give me Terrace Marshall on Patrick Surtain all day. It was freshman on freshman. Give me Stephon Sullivan on Savion Smith all day. All day. And if you give Burrow 3 seconds enough time to throw it where he can get the ball out of his hand, bro, they have the advantage on the outside. They may not be able to block them up front, but it'll be quick passes, get the ball out. If you can get it to the playmakers on the outside, they can make plays on that group.
Do you realize we're talking about a defense that just went against a shitty pass defense from Mississippi State and completed 16 to 28 for 129?
I get you, bro. No, I get you.
That had drops in the first half, that had thrown behind Derek Dillon, that's counting on Justin Jefferson. I get what you're saying, like athletically, give me Terrace Marshall over Surtain in a one-on-one. I mean, I'm intrigued to see that matchup, sure, but come on, man. Like, Terrace Marshall, did he even get on the field tonight? I mean, what you're looking at is Derek Dillon, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Sullivan, D. Anderson, and a little bit of Jamar Chase, but they're not dynamic, and they sure as hell the offensive line doesn't give Burrow time to throw it. So, I mean, that's the bigger concern. Can you not get Joe Burrow killed while you let routes develop? It's not can Terrace Marshall leap with Pat Surtain? Sure, he's athletic. I know that. Well, let's get real, man. LSU's like the 11th best passing offense in the SEC. They still throw for 200 yards a game. I mean, it ain't great. It's just. I mean, we're going to talk so much about LSU's defense over the next 2 weeks, trying to prepare for Tua and all that shit, and we're going to forget about LSU's offense. Like, as more creative as they've been, man, do you realize 2 years ago with Steve Ensminger calling plays with Darius Geis and Leonard Fournette and Danny Etling and DJ Chark and Traven Doral you didn't score. And Ethan Posick, and Will Clapp, and Toby Weathersby, you didn't score a point. That team was a hell of a lot better, had more talent than this one. Same guy calling plays. So, I mean, forgive me, but I don't mean to be the wet blanket on everybody right now, but because I'm the one sitting there telling you I think the game's going to be close. But as much as we're going to talk about Devin White for the next 2 weeks, how about we talk about LSU finding a way to score against this team? That's my 2 cents.
You're an asshole, bro. Happy whiskey and wine. Good to talk to you.
Oh, shit. Let's see. How long have we been going here? You got a timer going?
No, but I mean, we're definitely an hour and a half.
Let's see. What time is it? 10:30-ish? Let's see. I'm going to see if we can scroll through some more of these comments. I'm just looking at the comments, see if anybody's got more questions before we bounce. One more time, then I'll remind you about the aesthetic messages at Anthony Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge on Bluebonnet, Lafayette, Ambassador Caffrey. Do us a solid, both aesthetic and register bar. Please click on their links in this post and like their page. That is a huge help to us. We would very much appreciate that. 10% off everything this month at the aesthetic messages at Anthony Clinics of Louisiana. That's every product and service, medical grade supplements. I take a vitamin pack every morning from there, Metagenics medical grade supplements. Would highly recommend it. Hormone replacement therapy, PRP for hair restoration, Ultra Shave, Vela Shave, laser hair removal, face peel. They got a tremendous amount of products and services. Fellas, if you think about the lady for Christmas already, the lady in your life, great time thinking about a gift card for products and service. Aesthetic medicine, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, begingatagclinics.com or like their page here. All yours, dude.
Register Bar down on 3rd Street. Remember, next weekend for Halloween, they got the costume contest on Saturday night, the antiques on stage for the entertainment. On Friday night, they got the zombie pub crawl, and then Jam Cracker going to be the entertainment on Friday night. Make sure and give those the Register a like and a follow here. Get all the news, entertainment, and the acts for notifications there to your Facebook page. All right, Joe, what about the bye week, man? What are we going to be talking about? Because I'm not going to turn this into a 2-week pregame show for Alabama.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah?
Are you new to this?
No,
what do you think?
That's what I'm saying. I've been doing this for 8 years. I don't want to do it again for the 9th.
We don't have a choice. It's all anybody's ever going to want to talk about. We'll talk about the Saints, bro. That's what we'll talk about.
Yeah? Boy, I hope
you know what?
They win tomorrow, man.
That'd be huge, man. It'd be great to see Drew and Sean finally beat Baltimore if they get that done.
So, would that be all 32 for Peyton?
Yep, for both of them. Yep. The thing that I'll be watching, and look, this Purdue or Ohio State game is a great reminder that, man, we all look at point spreads and we look at rankings next to people's names and everything. Hey, bud. Dad, car.
Hey, good boy.
We got a naked kid up in here, bro.
Yes,
yeah.
we do.
Bye, Dad.
Bye, bud.
What up, you rock?
Bye.
Bye. Huh?
You okay?
I hate the glass. Sorry. What? Okay. I got headphones on. She didn't hear. What were we talking about? 2 weeks. Oh, Saints. Yeah, they beat all 32. But this right here, Purdue beating Ohio State, LSU beating Georgia last week is a reminder, man. Upsets happen, dude. I would not be surprised if we see something like this go down. Look at this, bro. Look at this mayhem on the field in West Lafayette. Holy crap.
Going down tonight, bro.
What are you doing with the
Lafayette's
lights?
the spot to be.
Oh, my God, bro. I'm getting the hell out of there, bro. Anyway. All right, bro. We ready?
Yep. Good stuff tonight, bro.
All right. Love y'all. Thanks for watching, man. Y'all have a great night. Please hit the share if you've not done it already. That is a massive help to us. Please, please, please. I beg of you, hit the share. That's a tremendous help. That's a tremendous help. Hit the share. Don't be square. Hit the share.
Later, bro.
Later, bro. Later, man.